Hey everybody, it's the coach, and this is Madden 20 on EA Sports. Straight ahead, we've got what should be an interesting matchup between the Indianapolis Colts and the Minnesota Vikings. I'll be back with you again with scores around the league at halftime. But kickoff right around the corner. And standing by to call the action, here are Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
Appreciate you, Coach. Well, later tonight in November, snowfall is forecasted to hit the Twin Cities, but right now, calm outside. The final playoff push is upon us. It's Week 12 of the NFL season, and we're underway on EA Sports. That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. So the Colts now coming out for their opening drive. And they'll be led out by the guy under center, Charles, their quarterback.
And what I enjoyed in preparing for this game was talking not just with the coaching staff, but with him as well. And I found it interesting that the coaching staff sees him one way, and he sees himself an entirely different way.
Yeah, one thing he said he's always working on, we know he's not bad at this, but his footwork, always wants to improve that, and that's something he's going to focus on here.
And what was so funny, what the offensive coordinator say right off the top, he's got great footwork. Love his footwork. So this guy is never satisfied.
Well, they had the run for no gain. Now they'll try again from the 25 on 2nd and 10. 2nd and 10. And he will find his man on the outside. A 14-yard gain for Indianapolis and also move the sticks. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. A first carry here for Ty Montgomery. And this play will be blown up. He'll lose yardage back at the 38. It's a loss of a yard there, and it's 2nd down.
70 Indians.
To throw on 2nd down. Dyson. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. Now, after the completion, we're going to get a timeout, an injured player. While the training staff works on him, we'll step aside and be right back. Off the play fake. Dyson. Complete to Newsom. And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Indianapolis. As his guys are in for 6. And the Colts take it right down and score on the opening drive. Now, this is a crew, they've come out flat their last 2 games, both losses, but just judging by the energy level, they look different here early, and that touchdown shows how.
Yeah, it seems to me that touchdown gets them off the treadmill. Because, you know, you've been on the treadmill. I've seen you work out. You go forever and ever, and it tells you you've gone somewhere, but you really have. You're in the same spot. They've exchanged it for an escalator. Still got some hills to climb, but they can get there.
These are good analogies. I run outside sometimes, though. You know, get some fresh air, a little sun on your face.
A little wind in there.
Yeah, that's right. This will be taken in at the 1. And a pretty good return here. He'll be stopped just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line.
Set, ready? 10-2 stop. Ready?
Young on 1st down. And that will be incomplete. Would have been a big hitter if they had connected. Instead, it's 2nd down. And the big boys up front in the trenches. What do you think of the O-line, Charles?
I love them because this is a group that's so cohesive. They know what the man next to them is going to do at all times, and they operate as a terrific unit.
To throw on 2nd and 10. Young. And that going to be incomplete. A lot of contact, no call, and it's 3rd down. Time for a look at our starters here on defense. They're trying to cover up some holes in the secondary. Right now, bottom 5 in the league against the pass at number 28.
They're in the bottom 10 in the league. I mean, when you look at their talent, you would think that they'd be much better. Overall, I don't think there's any question.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
They just gave up a sack there, and if I'm not mistaken, they gave up 4 last week, didn't they?
Yes, and just looking really porous, aren't they?
They really are, and I'm wondering if I'm going to have to start thinking about keeping the tight end in, maybe a back, someone to help assist, because right now, their quarterback's been getting hit a lot in the last couple of games.
Here's Young. They'll indeed go for it. Well, this is taken in. It's complete. 30, 10, touchdown, Vikings. A big play there. 83 yards as his guys are on the board here in this first quarter. That certainly went against the traditional ways of playing football, but who cares? Look at the result. Big touchdown.
They went for it on their own side of the 50. So there's conservative, there's aggressive, and there's really aggressive, which is what we just saw there. Tip of the cap to them.
Each team's had it. Each team has scored. 7-7 here as the kick's away. That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. And now Indianapolis set to take the field. And to be frank, they're just in a tough spot. It's only November, already eliminated from playoff contention. I know their fan base doesn't want to hear that, but that's the case. What are they fighting for now going forward?
You know exactly what they're fighting for. Is that word that some people don't want to hear. That's pride.
Okay. I was going to go draft, but pride's better, right?
Well, you know something? You're right, because that's part of it, but that's two different mindsets. That's front office mindset, draft position, where are we going to be and what do we need to get? And then the players and the coaching staff right now, pride. Can they win some games and feel better about themselves despite the fact they have no shot at the playoffs?
After getting stuffed on first down, not much better there. 2-yard gain. An extra defender in the secondary for the Vikings here on third down. Operating from the gun. Dyson. He's going to loft one. Deep left side. And got his man. Complete. And they finally get him, but not before he reaches the 33-yard line. So the big play changes the complexion of things. Here's 1st and 10 just outside the 30. Now a first down carry for Harris. And that play is blown up, losing yardage back at the 35. What a difference a play makes. A huge step forward and now a small step back as he loses a yard or two.
Let's go, defense.
Back to the ground, this time Montgomery. It'll be a gain of 5, and it's going to bring up a third and about 7 left. They got to get to the 23 here on third. From the gun, Dyson. And he's got his man on the out route. Another good reception there. The Colts on the march.
And when you're playing a quarterback with some experience and some moxie, you enter the danger zone when you decide to blitz him, because if he's able to diagnose as he did on that play, he can hurt you downfield.
He reads defenses so well, doesn't he?
He really does, and the best part...
Pressure coming from the Vikings, and they get there and bring him down. And they need to work to at least get some of this yardage back after the sack. 2nd and 19. Start of the second quarter, and it's the Colts in possession as they've got it with a second down coming up. Looking to throw on second down. Dyson, and that'll be incomplete. Took a pretty good shot as he tried to pull that one in. Couldn't hang on third down. This offense 2 for 2 on third downs on this drive. They're in for a tough test here, though. 3rd and long. Back to throw. Dyson. And that will be incomplete.
That's a good job there creating the contact to force the incompletion. And now, since it's 4th down, that should set up a field goal situation.
And a nice sigh of relief defensively to be able to hold them to 3. And in his 15th season, he's able to get this one to go. And they take the lead here now at 10-7. So in the end, they had the ball for 10 plays, but the drive gets them 3, not 6.
Is it okay if I give credit to both sides on this one?
Absolutely.
All right, let's start defensively. They hung in there. 10-play drive, but they stiffened when they got close to the goal line, made them kick a field goal for the offense. 10-play drive. They might be a little disappointed they got a field goal, but they moved the ball down the field with dispatch and came away with points.
And now out comes Minnesota. And, you know, certainly a lot of football left to be played. We're not into December yet, but right now where we stand, they're first place in their division, looking good, looking to be a threat come January.
And let's think about what every team has in their goals, all right? Number one goal is what? Make the playoffs. Number two goal is win your division. Number three goal, and the biggest goal, I think, is to be the highest seed possible that you can be heading into the playoffs so that you can have as many home games as possible to try and get you to the Super Bowl.
And right now fighting for every win possible to try to at least secure home field for the wild card and or divisional round. On second down now, Boyce. This will go for 5 up to the 33.
I think we can safely say that those types of plays are the backbone of this offense. We know not every run's going to be a big hitter, but you know they'll take that type of result on each and every attempt.
And he will have a first down as they get him to the ground at the 37. They have the first down with that gain of 4 yards. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10.
Hey, Foxtrot.
Now a handoff here to his running back. And a 5-yard gain gets him to the 42.
Partner, I think from our experience together, we have learned that most offensive coordinators are going to tell you, if I'm going to run the football on first down, I've got to get at least 4 yards. They got 5 here. They've got to feel pretty good about that one.
And running room scarce here. He's going to be stopped in his tracks at the line of scrimmage. And he'll give it here to his running back. And he's got the first down yardage as he brings this up to the 47. Give him the third down conversion, 5 yards on the play. All runs on this drive so far. It's 1st and 10. Going to give this time to the tailback. And he's going to take this one across midfield and into Colts territory. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 3.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice, solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
Go!
On second down, Boyce. They'll get 3 as the drive continues. It's a first down. 2 minutes remaining in the first half. 10-7, our score. And we'll remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll join Jonathan Coachman and the gang in Orlando. Coach will have stats and scores from the early games going on here around the NFL. No room to be had there on the first down run as he's lucky to get back to the line of scrimmage. So that flag will cost him 15.
And it doesn't matter anymore how you get the face mask. Any part of it is going to be 15 yards.
Look at me. Go. Ready?
Now a handoff here to his running back.
Holding offense.
So a decent gain, but all for naught on the penalty.
It's too bad, isn't it? They were feeling pretty good about it. The only people celebrating, the guys who just gave up that play.
Watch the slant.
Now a give, right side. Boyce. And he fumbled it. It's on the ground. And the Colts pick it up. And they have the football and will set up shop at the 33-yard line. Often on fumbles, you look at the guy who coughed it up and say, geez, what did he do? But, hey, let's tip the cap to the defense here.
Not a problem at all, my man. I'm not even going to tip it. I'm going to doff my cap to him. Congratulations. Big-time play. Knocking it free and creating something good for your team.
And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. Give the Colts 13 yards and a first down.
An ex-teammate used to tell me all the time, I hate experienced quarterbacks because no matter what, you really can't hide what you're doing. And I think that right there, he knew right away where the blitz was coming from, where his primary guy was going to be, and he ended up going to a secondary target for a nice game.
I was just going to ask you, that wasn't the primary target. He's so good at that, isn't he?
I think he knew right away that he wasn't going to get to his primary guy. I think he read that as soon as he got to the line of scrimmage, knew where the pressure was going to come from, and said, I know how to beat that, and that's what he did.
Fire.
From the midfield strike, they'll look to throw. And he's going to go down. They sack him back at the 42. Now the Colts going to burn the second of their timeouts, as the stoppage will come with a little under a minute to go in this first half. Throwing on third and long. Dyson. Wide open receiver, complete. And mark him down all the way inside the Minnesota 10. The Vikings going to signal for the first of their timeouts, as the clock's going to stop with 47 seconds to go in half number one. Operating from the gun, Dyson, and nearly picked off. Surprising to see a defender of his caliber let him get away, but it does get away and it's second down. Nothing on first down, so the ball remains at the 8-yard line, second and goal. Now a second down throw for the end zone, but it's incomplete.
All right, Captain, it's batten down the hatches time defensively. Dodged 2 pass attempts to the end zone. Now what do you think they're going to try and dial up on third and goal?
Well, knowing them and knowing what we just seen, I think they're throwing it again, don't you?
I think you have to. I think in this situation, you kind of run out of your running plays, fire another one into the end zone.
Meanwhile, on third down, they take a shot at the end zone, but it's incomplete. How about the defensive stand here from first and goal, 3 straight incompletions?
Yeah, I think people are wondering why didn't they try and run it at least once in there. But once the first incompletion happened, it's almost like they were committed to throwing the ball from then on out.
No problems in the field goal department so far. He's 2 for 2.
Pretty reliable here in this game, isn't he? And to me, that bodes well for them. If they need him late in the game, his confidence should be sky high.
Solid return, pretty good field position. They'll start at the 32-yard line. Now the Minnesota offense set to take over again. Inside of a minute left in the half. Does the fact that you're down on the scoreboard influence what you do, or I guess don't do on this final drive?
It certainly does, but what influences me even more is who I've got running my football team out on the field.
And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Minnesota. A big play there, with touchdown number 12 on the year. And now they can recapture the lead if they can make the PAT.
I think if you polled defensive backs, they would say the corner route, take that out, make it illegal, because that is so hard to recognize and so hard to adjust, because your first move is to not get beat in the middle of the field. And that's how they move you first before they break off to the corner.
But then as the wide receiver, great job. It's tough to turn those upfield and go, but he did a great job with it there.
Really good balance, really good body control. And how about the end result? A touchdown.
Extra point attempt to follow here. And this one through the uprights and good. And they're able to get the connection on the long touchdown pass. And that's one of the easiest drive summaries you'll ever see. One play, touchdown. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And not wanting to risk anything here late in the half, he'll just take a knee, and they'll bring the football out to the 25. The Colts come to the line ready to start their next drive. You've got less than 30 seconds left here in the half. You're well on your own side of the field. What are we doing here, Coach Davis?
Well, I'm trying something on first down, and it's something that's safe. It's something that's been done many times before. A lot of people say it's not even worth trying, but I'm running a draw. I'm running a screen. I'm seeing if something pops. And if it does, that can alter my strategy and potentially get me some points. And if it doesn't work, Well, then you just run the clock out and go to the locker room.
The last play got just a yard. Here's 2nd and 9 from the 26. So a very tight first half. We had to break in a 1-point game. As we'll head down to Orlando, that's where we find our man Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
Okay, Brandon, bye weeks, they're over. We've once again got a full slate of games to get to as we take you around the NFL here in Week 12. We'll start with what was nearly the NFC title game last year. Philadelphia taking on New Orleans. And it's the Eagles who are out in front. The Eagles locked in a tight one, but this is a game you feel they've got to have. From there, it's off to Tampa to check on the Bucs at home, Raymond James Stadium. And it's the visiting Washington Redskins who have the lead in that one. The Redskins looking to sew that one up, and they look to be in pretty good shape. Lastly, let's head to Paul Brown Stadium in Cincinnati. See what's happening with the Bengals. And they have the lead in that one over the visiting Raiders. The Bengals sitting at 0-9 on the year, but they've got the lead as they look for that all-important first win. Meanwhile, in our game, it's been a back-and-forth first half. Who can put it together in the second half? For the answer, we turn it back over to our broadcast team of Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. The Vikings have to like their position. They've got the lead. They get this football as well as we are back and underway for the second half. This fielded at the 2. And he'll take this up past the 20 and down at the 22-yard line. So here are the Vikings to take over. They are trying to snap that 3-game losing streak. On top so far with the football here, 1st and 10.
Break. Mike 51. Mike 51. You remember me? You remember me? Let's go, baby. Hey, exit. 51, Mike. Mike 51. Here we go. Ready?
Young looks to throw on 1st down. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. The catch and run pays off for 29 yards. Those are the kinds of plays right there that show you why he's the number 3 man in the NFL in terms of receiving yards.
Also tells you there's a full combination of what he's got going in his game. You name it, from route running to catching the football. That's why he's able to produce those types of numbers.
He's going to fire one deep, middle of the... Man, it's caught at the 6-yard line. And he just falls short down at the 1-yard line. Well, make that now 2 completions for him on this drive, and these aren't ordinary completions. They're big ones.
Yeah, these are the types that make a secondary talk to each other and not in a good way. Oftentimes pointing fingers. Hey, who's got him? Someone cover it. That type of indecision can open up to even more big plays.
And this has been a familiar sight all afternoon as they stop him behind the line.
And plays like that are exactly what this defense needs here early in the second half to give it a little spark. I think their halftime adjustments, what they talked about, maybe it's just a little inspirational speech. Who knows? But it looks like they're ready to go.
And he'll get in. Touchdown, Minnesota. A great play there with touchdown number 7 on the year. And the Vikings are going to widen that advantage. They were able to push him backwards on 1st down, but this time he forces his way in.
I wonder if he went back to the huddle and said, guys, just a little bit more help, and I can get it done on this one. Maybe even overruled the play call from the sideline, just feeling like he had that opportunity, and he wanted to cash it in.
That'll be taken in the end zone. And he'll elect not to return this one, so they'll bring it out to the 25 on the touchback. Here's the Colts now as they get ready for their first possession on offense of the second half. They're down in this game. A chance for the offense, though, to put something on the board, get some momentum here in half 2.
Try and get things kick-started for them. And you know at the half they discussed how they were going to get that done. This is where scripting comes into play a lot of the time.
How many plays do you script coming out of the second?
Most of the time in the first half, you're scripting 12 to 16. I think in the second half, you're really scripting more like 8 to 10, kind of a starter or an opener, whatever terminology they use, just something to get you off to a quick start.
A handoff to Harris to begin the drive, and he'll wind up with about 6 up past the 30 to the 31.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown, because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
The last run got 6, now 2nd and 4. On 2nd down, Montgomery. And he gets this one to midfield before he's brought down. 19 yards to pick up there. Move the chains.
Partner, if you want more carries, I think we saw how you get him. Showed that he's got the fresh legs, and he picked up the first down on that run. Don't just ask for him. Show him that you're supposed to get the football.
Ready up.
51 to Mike.
Come on. You better bring it.
McKinnon here, it's complete. 10 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down.
Well, coaches always talk about finding balance on offense. I don't think you can get much more balance than this. Big-time run, big-time pass.
A 1-2 combination. Looked pretty good.
How about that? Let's see if they can continue to take that kind of a punch, though.
Still a few inches short of a first down as they come up now on 2nd down. 2nd down and inches. He's going to float this one deep right side. Got a man. It's caught inside the 10. And he's brought down, but not before he reaches the 8-yard line. 33 yards that time.
You know I'm going to lean towards the defender, right? You know I'm going to do that.
I know.
That's a tough situation for him as I see it. But the truth of the matter is, that ball was not streaking towards him. Had a little arc on it. He's got to find a way to get his head around and make a play on the football.
The chain gang hustling to catch up. Here's 1st and goal from just inside the 10. They run with Harris, and they'll get this from the 8 to the 5. Pickup of 3.
Tough first half for him, unable to put up the numbers he's used to producing. But with a guy like him, you and I both know it just takes a couple of explosive touches for him to make an impact on this game and on the stat sheet as well.
And the ball smacked down on the 5-yard line. Here's 2nd and goal. They'll keep it on the ground. Harris again. And he will fight his way into the end zone for a touchdown. A great effort there. His 5th touchdown now on the year, as his guys have cut the lead down to 2. Second effort there, he was determined to find pay dirt, and he did.
I think that's a great example of what coaches talk about, a back that runs behind his pads, and he uses pads to get him into the end zone.
And now they'll empty the backfield here as they elect to go for 2. From the gun, Dyson to the end zone, but it's incomplete.
They made the decision to go for 2. They didn't get it. They remained down by 2 points. Should they have kicked it there?
A third quarter, I'm okay with it. Maybe first or second, you don't. I don't know. What do you think?
Yeah, again, I keep coming back to I don't like to chase a lot of points.
Yeah.
But I also don't know what kicking an extra point being down 1 does for me.
So the lead shaved to 2 now as the kickoff is away. Fielded about a yard deep. They'll bring it back to just about the 25. Call it the 24-yard line. And now out comes Minnesota. And they've got the lead here getting late into the third quarter. And it's been terrific. We've seen that. But the rushing game almost non-existent.
And with the lead and trying to finish this game off, they need the running game to come back to life. They need to get sparked that way, take some time off the clock, and keep the ball away from their opponents.
Look, squeeze. Ready.
On first down, Boyce. And this is him behind the line. A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. They'll keep it on the ground. Boyce. 7 yards on the carry. Make it 3rd and 4 coming up.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point. Going to make that defense stand up and stop them.
Watch the 6-6, bullet high.
And he'll give it here to his running back. And they'll get him down about 3 yards short of the first. Just a gain of 2 there, and it's going to bring up a 4th down.
I know that speed is the hallmark of today's NFL game, but the key to good rushing defense is still having your linebackers set the edge.
Well, the offense is not leaving the field. They're going to stay out and go for it on 4th and 3.
Hey, lock it.
They'll try and run for it, and he won't get there. They stop him a few yards short of the line to gain. And we return, welcoming you back to Minneapolis. It's been a good one so far, just a 2-point game here as we get set for quarter number 4. Some good games going on in the early window. This might be the best of the bunch. Oh, he's going to let this go for the end zone. And he's got his target. It's caught for a Colts touchdown. In for the score. And the Colts are going to jump back in front. So the first play of the drive, they strike through the air and score it.
A lot of coaches like change of possession as a time to go ahead and strike, and that's what we saw there. Ball turned over, first play, right to the end zone.
Extra point right down the middle. And the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. Fielded about a yard deep. And all that worked, but he stopped where he ultimately would have been, and he's simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line. Now the Minnesota offense set to take over again. And last time this unit was out here, costly turnover, and then that turned into 6 points. They've got to make amends.
How many times have we sat in meetings with coaches and they use the term complimentary?
Weaving through traffic, and now he's free. Touchdown, Vikings. A big play there. His 2nd touchdown of the afternoon. And the Vikings have once again taken the lead. Here we go now as we get set for a big 2-point conversion. Those are the types of plays in these moments they were hoping for from this young rookie, able to put him up here in the 4th quarter.
How about the kid? You just mentioned it, the 4th quarter. This is when you have to make those winning plays. That's what he just did. Doesn't ensure anything, but he certainly gave his team a heck of a chance, didn't he?
Defense, keep it up, guys.
Here's Young from the shotgun. And he's got it. So the 2-point conversion is good, and they add on to their 4th quarter lead. So that effort gives them a 3-point cushion and guarantees that a field goal going forward won't beat them.
Yeah, that's really good strategy because that's all you care about. Not getting beat at this stage. At least give your team a fighting chance.
Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Here comes the Indianapolis offense now as they get set to take over. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline, because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out.
The Vikings after him, and they get there for the sack.
Well, so much for setting the tone of the drive offensively. Giving up a big sack that loses that kind of yardage, not a great start.
Looking to throw. Dyson. And a quick throw here. That's complete. They get 11 back on that one. It leads to third down. The Colts on third down. They've converted 3 out of 5 thus far. This is 3rd and 9. Back to throw. Dyson. And he will be hit from behind and run over. Wow.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
They punted 3 times in the loss last week as he sends this one away. It's taken to the 26. We'll call that a punt of 54 yards. Well struck. And the Vikings will take over here 1st and 10. And now out comes Minnesota. A little less than 4 minutes remaining. And the margin for error is small with this slim lead. Operate within your 4-minute offense here, Charles?
Definitely. Remember, the 4-minute offense doesn't always correspond to what's up on the clock. What they need to do is play a little bit of keep away right now. Run the clock down. Make sure their opponent doesn't get the ball back. Their dream scenario, get enough first downs and make them eat up their timeouts so the game ends when you're kneeling down with the football.
Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10.
Ready?
Firing quickly here, and that's complete. And the result here, a pickup of 8. Leaves him with 2 to go on 2nd down. That reception, it brings him up to the 700 plateau. He's at 700 career NFL catches now.
And that club in baseball, a rather exclusive club and one we talk about all the time. In football, puts you in the top 50 all-time range. Not so bad either.
On 2nd down now. Boyce. And he'll get it into enemy territory just across midfield at the 49. That one, a 1st down pickup of 8.
I know we're in the era of wide-open football, a lot of spread formations, more space, but there's still a spot for power football, and we just saw some of it right there. How about that run?
Yeah, breaking the tackle, and, you know, late in this game, he wants the football in his hands. He's had a good day. Running game working. They'll stick with it on 1st down. And they'll get him down after a pickup of 8, 2nd and 2. 3 points separating these two sides with 2 minutes left to go in the 4th. So the Vikings in possession of the football as we get you reset. They've got a 2nd down now as they search for a way to get this one to the finish line. On 2nd down, Boyce. He's got a 1st down and more inside the 30. And down to the 19-yard line. And quickly, we're going to get another stop here with 1:54 left as they call the timeout defensively. Not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. And to give this time to the tailback. And he'll get this down only to the 18. And now we're going to get a timeout defensively. So another stop, 1:50 left in the football game. The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9. Now a handoff here to his running back. And he'll go down here at the 12-yard line. Now the Colts will use their 3rd and final timeout as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. Here's the 7th play of this drive. This is 3rd and 4. And he'll give it here to his running back. And they're going to mark him down short, maybe by about a yard, if that. It's a pickup of 3, but it brings up what will be an interesting 4th and 1. Well, with the fumble he had earlier, we know how key keeping the football is here. That fumble earlier probably at the forefront of his mind. Just hold on to this thing.
It's also at the forefront of the mind of the guys who are trying to get the ball from him. And since they've seen him drop it on the ground before, they're doing everything possible to have him do it again. They need that turnover.
Here we go on 4th down. And he's not going to get there. Might have even lost a yard. He only needed a yard, but he couldn't even get back to the line of scrimmage. And the Colts are going to take over with a football. So that's the second time this game they've given it up on 4th down. They're now 1 for 3 on 4th down conversion tries.
But they must feel good about what they're doing, right? They continue to go for it on 4th down. Give the defense a lot of credit, though. They've stopped him 2 out.
And this turns into disaster. He's not going to get forward progress. That'll be a safety. And that disastrous play partner is ultimately going to seal their fate in this one, isn't it?
It certainly is, because they give up the 2 points, but that's not really what did it. It's having to give up the football. And because they gave up the football, guess what? The other team now can take the ball and close this game out.
So a free kick situation forthcoming from the 20 as they'll punt this one away. Taken in at the 11. Getting set to go again as we look at the back heading onto the field again. After some early struggles running the ball, they've really picked it up. Early it just seemed like there were no holes there. Now all of a sudden the holes seem to be there. I don't know if that's just my imagination.
And give them credit that they kept their confidence, because sometimes when you get stuffed big in the running game early, especially for an entire half, it really makes you retreat a little bit, but not this group. They always have the confidence that they just got their assignments down, they get in sync with their runners, and off they went.
A big pickup there, and without question, that should be more than enough to wrap this one up.
He's still rumbling, isn't he? Still looking fresh in this one despite the heavy workload. But you and I both know, well-conditioned, and he did tell us that he thrives on being at his peak late in ball games.
8 yards the tally on that first down run. Here's 2nd and 2.
Pilot, 64, weak. Ready?
Going to give this time to the tailback. And he'll get it down on the play to the 37. 6 yards the pickup, and that's a first down. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. So the final seconds have ticked away in this